Prismatic Evolutions is finally out, and I've opened up a decent amount of the set, not myself, but over on the streams, and my initial thoughts of the set is it's tough. It's really difficult to get the pull rates, to get those big hits that we're looking for, although the number of pulls doesn't seem too bad, like it seems on the same level as every other Scarlet Violet era set. But what about getting hold of those big heavy hitters? So today we're looking at the pull rate data on TCG Player regarding Prismatic, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinions on how good this is moving forward with this set, and comparing it with some of the other Scarlet Violet era sets, so you guys can get an idea whether or not this is as difficult as some people have been saying it is, or is it easy or just about right. So let's get into it. Okay, so we have here the pull rate data for Prismatic. I'm interested to see what it is. I don't actually know what it's going to be, so let's have a look here. So starting things off, we have the gold cards. A lot of people said this is going to be really difficult to get the gold cards, and I remember looking at like Surgen Sparks, and they were really tough to get the gold cards in that one. So in this one, we're looking at any gold card is 1 in 180 packs, and then the specific ones is 1 in 900. Now, there isn't that many gold cards in this set. Now, before we get into all of this, okay, and then we compare to the others, one thing I will say is a lot of people have been saying that Prismatic is really difficult. Like the pull rates are super tough to the absolute max, right? Before we get into that and I break it down, we look at the bottom, right? We start at the bottom and it says secret rare or master ball or a spec hit rate. Yeah, it says chance of opening at least one of the actual quote unquote hits is 19%. We'll have a look at the others and we'll compare, but that is very similar to pretty much every single Scarlet Violet era set. There are multiple factors why it feels so bad in this set. Just open up the packs, and we've opened up on the stream a decent amount of packs already, and of course I've seen other people open up packs and it is quite brutal. One is the price. I mean, the price of the set is extremely expensive, so it feels kind of bad when you don't get a good hit. Second is we're getting less packs as a whole, right? Because it's not a booster box set, because we're opening up ETBs or triple pack blisters and stuff like that, we just don't have that real big volume of packs like we would if we were ripping apart a booster box, right? And booster box is 4 ETBs worth of packs. So when people open up an ETB and they open up 9 packs and they don't get what I would call an actual hit, probably like one of these 6 categories rather than just like an EX card, it feels kind of bad. Whereas if you're opening up something like a booster box or the 4 lots of these ETBs, you're most likely going to get something good. And we'll have a look at these in a moment. Then on top of that, another factor in this is there's no regular illustration rares. Now they've replaced them with the Pokeball reverse holos and the Master Ball reverse holos, which add that a little additional bit of value. So the way I see these reverse holos is kind of like the equivalent of a subset. So very similar to something like a Galarian Gallery from Crown Zenith, or even when we look at something like Baby Shinies from a Paldean Fate set or a Hidden Fate set or a Shining Fate set, right? So it's kind of like that little bit of a subset, which I'm all here for, right? So that helps a little bit. I know it doesn't feel as exciting, but that's kind of on that level. So let's get into it anyway. Then we got the special illustration rare, which is what everybody's hunting for, which is the Evolutions. Now I think there's 9 of them in the set, and there's like over 30 special illustration rares. You got a ton of trainer cards. I know that a lot of people, and I've seen a few videos already talking about pull rates, and they're like, oh, a lot of you want to pull EVs. Of course we do, but there are a ton of, the chance of getting a SIR is very easy, or well, not very easy, but easier than you think. It's very similar to other sets and so on and so forth. I've said this multiple times, like across most of the Scarlet and Violet era, trainer cards are a feel bad. If you pull a big trainer card, or if a trainer card is big, that is lame. I mean, it is straight up lame. I mean, it's Pokemon, right? We're here for the Pokemon. We're not here for the trainers. I personally couldn't care less about the trainers, and I still feel like Pokemon should be the chase cards in any set. That's how I feel anyway. So when I see like as trainer cards like the big hit, it's just a feel bad, especially when there's some really nice, amazing Pokemon. Now, there are some special illustration rares that are really nice, like the Raging Bolt and the Roaring Moon, to name a few, the Palafin as well. There's some really nice ones, and they do hold good value. But the thing is it does feel bad. Now, I don't expect to always rip open EVs all the time. For me, I kind of feel like the EVs should have been special illustration rares. and even like maybe the the Roaring Moon and stuff. But I think all of the trainers should just be like in the like illustration rare category, to be honest. But that's where it is. So we're looking at 1 in every 45 packs. So you're looking at around about 5 ETBs. So you're going to be opening up more than a booster box worth of ETBs to get a special illustration rare. I mean, that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things. I mean, when you open up a normal set, you don't really expect to get a special illustration rare in every single box. So 1 in 45 is actually okay. But to get a specific one is 1,440. That is because, like I said, there's over 30 special illustration rares in the set. They have like combined illustration and special illustration to all meld into one category. So that's why it's just like dilutes the pool and it makes it really tough. Then we've got the Master Ball, which in my opinion will help kind of soften the blow a little bit on the tougher pull rates, as it were. I like the Master Balls. I think it's great. It's nice to have them in English now. I don't know if they're going to keep doing this moving forward or it's just for this set, but I'm here for it. So with the Master Balls, 1 in every 20 packs. So again, you're looking about just slightly over 2 ETBs to get a single Master Ball, which I think it's easier than it is in Japanese. I actually think it's harder to get in Japanese, but might be roughly the same. Then we got the specific Master Ball is 1 in 1,362. Holy smokes. So yeah, if you get a Master Ball EV, you're doing very, very well. Then we've got the Ultra Rares, which again, there's a lot of trainer cards, just so many trainers in this set. We've got the Ultra Rares. Any Ultra Rare is 1 in 13. And then we've got the specific one is 1 in 161 packs. The Ultra Rares in this set are pretty lame. I don't think there's any actual like full art Pokemon. I don't think there is. So it's a bit of a lame one, that one. A-Spec cards, we've got 1 in 21. And then to get a specific one is 1 in 128. Again, I don't think a lot of people are that interested in A-Specs. They're kind of a bit of a bulk-ish pull, kind of on that same level as like an EX. And then we've got the Pokeballs reverses. So you get 1 in every 3 packs, which is not bad. So you should be getting 3 on average per ETB. And then for a specific one is 1 in 302. And I do like the Pokeballs. I don't think they're going to hold that much value. I think the only ones that probably will are either going to be playable cards, like it shows the Urban Vessel there, and then EVs. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then, of course, yeah, and then 19% to get the specific hit as well. A hit, not specific, but any hit. So let's compare it to a different set. So we're looking at 151. We're going to compare the two between 151, which was not the last, most recent specialty set, but a set that everybody loved to open. Okay, so 151, again, we're talking about a pretty sought after set. Packs were pretty expensive straight off the bat, and it was hard to get hold of them. You won't be ripping as many packs, compared to a booster box. So I would compare 151 on that same level as hype as this, and let's go have a look at the pull rate. So as you can see here, the secret rare hit rate, 19%, exactly the same. We go back to Prismatic, we can see that 19% there. So when we look at the gold cards, so we've got any gold card is 1 in 51 and then 154. We look at 1 in 180. So it's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher to get a gold card and then to get a specific 1 in 900 packs compared to 1 in 154. Then we move into the special illustration rares. Now 151 has some amazing special illustration rares. 1 in every 32 packs compared to 1 in every 45. So it's a little bit tougher than 151. And then when we look at the specific one is 225 compared to that 1,440. That is because of how many there are. There is so many more SIRs in this set than 151. And of course, we've got the Master Ball and the Pokeball, which don't exist in 151. Then the Ultra Rares, 1 in 13 and 161. 1 in 16 and 248. So Prismatic has got that one pretty good. And then here we have a double rare, but we have A-Specs now, so it's a little bit different. So overall, it is tougher than 151. If you want to get an SIR, it's tougher. If you want to get a hyper rare, it's a lot tougher. So keep that in mind. But the pull rates as a whole is pretty much the same. Then we look at Paldean Fates. Again, another specialty set coming in with all the hits included. So in here we got the hyper rares, so the gold cards, 1 in 62 compared to the 180, and then 372 for there, and then of course 900. So Paldean Fate, a lot easier to get a gold card. SIRs, 1 in 58 packs. That is actually tougher than it is to get in Prismatic. Okay, so that's not too bad. But then we look at the specific one, 465 compared to, again, that really high number just because of how many there are. Then we have illustration rares, which don't exist, which I think is a bit of a bummer. But then we look at the ultra rares, 1 in 15 and then 1 in 76. We have here 1 in 13, 161. So overall, here you have a better pull rates, way better. Look at that, Palais and Fates, 44%. If a lot of people ask me what's one of the best sets to open, Palais and Fates. You will get so many hits in Palais and Fates. It is most definitely worth it because of the baby shinies. So yeah, Palais and Fates is an incredible set to open, similar to what we had in Crown Zenith in the Sword and Shield era. So yeah, Palais and Fates, really fun to open, but Prismatic is a lot tougher. Okay, what about a Surgen Sparks? Maybe asking, well, Surgen Sparks had really tough pull rates. But let's have a look. How much does it compare? Of course, this is going to be a regular set, not a special set. But again, we can have a look. So 20% chance of getting hits. It's pretty much the same, 19, 20%. Between the two, it's pretty identical. Hyper rares, we're looking at 1 in 188 compared to the 1 in 180. So Surgen Sparks is actually a lot tougher to get just a gold card. And then when we look at the special illustration rares for that big old Pikachu, we're looking at 1 in 87 packs compared to the 1 in 45. So Prismatic is a lot easier. In fact, you're going to find a special illustration rare twice as often as you would from Surgen Sparks. And then we have any special illustration rare 1 in 960. Of course, nowhere near as bad as Prismatic, just because of how many there are. So keep that one in mind. Then of course we have illustration rares, we don't have them anymore. And then ultra rares is 1 in 15, 312 for a specific one. And it's a lot easier to get the hits in the ultra rare slot with Prismatic. So overall, Surging Sparks, I would say, is actually harder. The special illustration rares are harder to get, the gold cards are harder to get, the ultra rares are harder to get. So for me, I think Surging Sparks is tougher than Prismatic, but you are opening up a lot more Surging Sparks because naturally it is cheaper. So keep that in mind. And then finally, just for the absolute fun and games, we're looking at Evolving Skies. Of course, a lot of people call this Evolving Skies 2.0 because of all of the evolutions and how tough it is and all that craziness. So let's look at Evolving Skies. It's going to be very different, of course, but we can get an idea. So to get a gold card is 1 in 109 packs, which actually is easier than in Prismatic. And then when we look at rainbows, we don't have rainbows anymore. And then we look at the alt arts and the alt art VMAXs. So a regular alt art, we're looking at 1 in 91 packs. So don't forget, there are quite a lot of regular alt arts in Evolving Skies. And then we're looking at 1 in every 1001. So I would say if we looked at the alt arts from Evolving Skies, just the regular ones, the non-VMAX ones, I would probably put them at maybe the other like special illustration rare slots with Prismatic. And then we have the alt art VMAXs where we get the Moonbrion and so on. 1 in 332 packs. So you're going to be needing to open up an absolute ton. And then to get a specific one is nearly 1 in 2,000. So overall, Evolving Skies, yeah, it is a lot tougher than Prismatic. Prismatic is a lot easier to get those big hits, but it just feels bad. And yeah, I agree with a lot of people that, of course, it is a very difficult set to get those pulls, and it does feel bad, especially when you pull a trainer. I mean, the only SIR we've managed to pull so far is a trainer card, and it just feels so bad. So hopefully we will find some evolutions. We do have a lot of packs to open on the streams, so yeah, definitely make sure to jump in and join in and try and pull an Eevee. So there you have it, guys. That's the pull rates from Prismatic. My overall thoughts is the number of volumes of hits per pack seems about right. 1 in every 3 packs on average it tends to be, I've noticed, with Prismatic, but it's getting those big chase cards. Of course, everybody wants Eevees. We haven't even pulled a single regular Evolution EX, just a normal EX. We just haven't. We've pulled so much other stuff, but just not that. For me, my initial takeaway of opening up Prismatic is it feels bad. Why does it feel bad? Because one, I think the price. I think the price right now to open up packs, I mean, here in the UK, we're looking at, on average, about £10 a booster pack. Over in the US, I know it's a little bit more, maybe towards that $12 to $15. It just feels, incredibly expensive. If you're opening up, you're basically paying double the amount of what it should be selling for. It does feel bad. I think if you were paying MSRP, which you normally do for these type of sets anyway, it's kind of strange, right? That a lot of the holiday specialty sets, like 151 and Palais and Fates and so on and so forth, that we do pay kind of like the MSRP value of a lot of these, but then when it comes to the booster box sets, we pay less. It's kind of strange, but I think overall, if we were paying the normal price, then I think Prismatic would be okay. I do feel like, though, adding trainers in that top slot is just lame. It's just super lame. But there we go. Good pull rates, though, will make this set, I mean, this set doesn't need any help anyway, but it will keep the value of the set and the chase real, and it makes it feel like a real big chase when you do pull one of those EV SIRs on that same level as pulling one of the big Evolution VMAXs from Evolving Skies. I kind of feel like it's on that level, you know, so that's pretty cool. If it's fun of the video and you've enjoyed it, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe for more Pokemon content, and let me know your thoughts on the pull rates and your experiences opening up Prismatic. I want to hear some good stories. I want to hear some brutal stories. So let me know down in the comments, guys, of your experience. Like I say, we've opened up some already. We've got a ton of packs to open on the stream. So definitely make sure to join us on the streams and grab yourself some Prismatic. And yeah, see if we can finally pull one of those evolutions. That would be absolutely amazing. But that's it from me, guys, in today's video. If you want more Pokemon content, make sure to click the video on the screen. And of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button. But as always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are legends, and I'll see you in the next one.